It's a 4-day training program. Day one is theory, where we're going through written documentation about our classification system and explaining why we're making certain decisions.
I've been part of a French team for the past 6 years. I've actually never coached, but I've been also part of the FIFA development process. I've been since 2004 in Portugal. I've been the French official translator for the French delegation, so I've witnessed the birth of power chair football, which allows me to have quite a bit of experience on how the player are supposed to move on their chair and what type of movement they need to evolve on the field.
Got an extension contracture of the hips, about 30%, 40%, so he can't sit up straight without dropping his legs way down, so cantilevers him forward.
Good balance, okay.
Day two is going through classifications with the trainees, watching what we do and being free to ask questions so that we can explain our thinking and our reasoning.
Parfait, c'est fini pour l'instant. Tu te mets là 2-3 petites minutes le temps qu'on délibère, puis je reviens te voir après.
Good posture stability, good head range of movement. He's got limited hand function on one side and his control.
What makes him achieve the eligibility level? It's his hips that are, and the angle that is fixed.
Yeah, that's one reason. Plus the severe asymmetry on that one hand. The one hand is not functional for operating a manual chair, and he would sit in a manual chair. He couldn't get into a position to push the chair well at all because he'd be open at the hip angle.
Because of the
so
angle.
He couldn't get forward to drive the chair, and that one hand isn't going to grasp and release the wheel.
The application of the theory we've done yesterday actually, to me, felt pretty clear on whether you are a PF2 or PF1, or maybe we had some discussion about maybe players about whether or not they reached the minimum level of criteria to enter the game. But overall, I thought it went pretty well.
Day three, when the competition is underway, is a day where we observe players that we previously classified, just to make sure that we have the right classification bracket for them, and we can do that alongside trainees and talk them through what we're doing.
He can spin his head quite well.
So he can observe the court reasonably well.
Yeah. Every time he loses the ball or hesitate to do one movement or another is more due to the skill than to his disability, because it doesn't prevent him from doing pretty much everything he wants on the chair. Balance does not seem to be an issue with the way he's strapped on his chair and the way he backs up, spins and keeps his balance all the time.
What you see in a calm environment is completely different than a match situation where the player is tense. What we're looking for in the match observation is to confirm what we've seen in the classification process itself.
What about his symmetry in the chair?
He leans a little bit towards the right, but I think it's because of his quadriplegia is more in effect on one side than on the other.
A player can present very differently in a clinical setting, particularly because they're not under much pressure. And so what you tend to see with certain conditions such as cerebral palsy is the more pressure they're under, the increase in tone will affect the performance. And that brings us to the trainees on day four, who we're looking for them to start giving us those sort of answers, give us their insights, their reasoning. We can assess how effective our training has been for them and what their credentials are. Are they able to translate their coaching or medical skills into a classification situation?
Classification is now linked to every international competition for as long as we are part of the Paralympics. The future of classification is for us to be accepted by every member of the discipline, so that when there is a future competition, it seems normal for everyone to go there, to be classified and then enjoy the game. And our goal for the future is, of course, to have classification accepted as a means to protect the sport rather than exclude anyone from it.